He doesn't try to intimidate me. You know what I mean? Drop me down on you. It's gonna be too important. No.
Maybe someday we'll get all those happy. Yeah. Well, there was discussion about the school grant. We can set foundation. Preservation. So,
We went to that meeting.
You did?
What's
I see a lot of vehicles there. How was it? Well, yeah, there might be other grants options. So they can look at.
They like what they had.
Oh. Good pocket.
Yeah, like I say, they've been consistently busy, so
You don't stay that way unless you do.
no.
Yeah, you find somebody with. Well, trying to maintain its good character. Yeah, I know, he's been trying to find somebody for the school.
That'd be a good deal.
Bring
Yeah.
Sure, I thought that's.
Yeah.
Won't need it long, no.
We're gonna get
It's like Tuesday, you'll be, Wednesday you'll need that sweater.
Wednesday is changing again.
They said the whole month's supposed to be kind of cooler, wet and cool.
Yeah, I saw a lot of rain forecast.
I'll tell you more at the end.
Yeah, I'll let you know. 30 days.
That's insane.
It's high, we don't predict.
Probably be pretty active too.
Yeah.
And
Well, there are two different meetings.
Yeah, they lost it up.
the
Way along.
field work meeting was
Yeah,
about-
Berlin, Friday it was,
I thought
yesterday was Saturday, Friday was good, Saturday was too cold and.
They had a chance. They did.
Guys.
They played well.
I saw
Not
kind
to
of
be
tanks
ashamed.
going down the road
No.
this morning coming in.
Good season.
Yeah, they'll be hitting their hard first year,
Coast.
rain tonight and they'll
Exactly.
shut down for probably a week or better.
All right, it's 9:30. All those that so choose stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the first meeting to order with 4 present, 1 absent. First item on the agenda is, and there's a reminder, the meeting is being recorded. You have the option of leaving if you so choose not to be recorded. First item is a public hearing for the FY27 levy rates.
I'd move to open the public hearing.
Second.
Get to pick the second. And I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You do a roll call on it, you know, maybe try to do Andy to go.
That's closed.
That's closed session.
Closed session.
That-
Closed session.
Not
is
public.
broken.
Not
No.
public hearings, yeah.
You're right.
Does anyone have any questions on the proposed levy rates?
I handed this out, you can put this reminder where what you're at, so the first page shows the proposed rates. The general fund and rural fund are the max allowed by law under the current legislation, and then you're lowering the supplemental rate 19 cents per thousand. Back of that page shows the valuations and how we were able to get by with such a lower levy rate because we had a good increase in valuations.
Yep.
Third page shows the fourth run on the expected fund balances with those figures in there. And the back page shows the proposed
Funding.
grants to other entities. As a reminder, after this point, you can't raise the levy rates. You could still lower the levy rates and you we're gonna set the public hearing for the budget. And after that point, you won't be able to lower any budget. I mean, raise any budget amount, but you could always lower budget amount right up through the public hearing of the budget, which is at the end of the month.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on the levy rate, online or in present?
And just for the public's knowledge, in the last 11 years, the levy rate has only raised up 0.79%. 79 hundredths of 1%. It was up for 2 years there a little bit. Now we got it back down this year. So 0.79 hundredths of 1% is what it's went up in 11 years. So,
Moving behind the inflation rate.
yeah.
There are no questions or comments.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we got a date.
Yep, April 27th at 9:30 for the budget hearing.
I'd move to set the budget hearing for April 7th, 27th at 9:30 a.m.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to set the public hearing for the FY27 budget for April 27th at 9:30 in the morning. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye also. This one signature then.
No, yeah, that's what it is in the tape for that.
Okay. Suppose we need a
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
hearing, a motion and a second for adjournment. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we'll start our second meeting. We'll call that to order. Well, 5 minutes, I will.
I started with just 5 minutes in there, but I didn't want to. But I put 5 and we'll be 15. But
Yeah, it's kind of hard to know.
I went through the insurance, wrote it, dropped it off at Michael's office this morning.
It was very helpful.
Items and stuff, so. Because we had them old massive tractors, one was insured for 35,000, I don't know, we've been after that for how many years to get them off there?
I think we 4.
Do we still have it? Does it
We
still
do, got
exist?
2 of them, yeah.
I think we
So
ought to have,
I have to go through that list.
we ought to have a public sale on those 2 antiques.
Cause I went through. So, well, one day this week if you need, so I can come in. Run through it or kind of figure out scale on just how to. do that.
Depreciation scale.
Depreciation scale, so it'll be a lot easier in the future to. Then they're putting the bollards in. They were just here this morning about the bollards, gonna get them in this week.
You walk around, you see white X's out there that
Yeah.
are the,
9
safety bollards that are going in.
And we
The record.
figured maybe down the road someday we need about another
9, 10.
7 maybe along the building and another 3 to finish down along the building too. That way we have that all.
That's a suggestion of Homeland Security.
Yeah,
The, it's Homeland Security, who's the one that made that recommendation?
That was the state division or federal.
Security audit.
yeah.
Yeah, the security audit.
They're putting two out here, one just about right on this side of the window, another one on the corner to keep. And the 4 out along the front, so they can't drive that way.
Looks like we still need the gate over here, is that, or are they still need the change?
Yeah, they mismeasured or something, they're coming back to.
That's that metal attachment over there in
They
the
have
building.
a miscalculation and something, so they're. We were just talking to the Highway 9 out there now, they're gonna start this week on that.
Oh, they
They'll
are.
close down one lane for now and then. As it progresses, so.
This town's gonna be a nightmare this summer.
It's gonna be awful. Closing this now.
Yeah, cause they're digging the hole, it's all coming out and all going in there. Very, it's getting 100% replaced.
That over here, there.
Then they're gonna cut down 2 feet from probably starting by the old sunflower approximately, cut 2 feet. Gonna keep the slope the same, they'll cut 2 feet off the hole going around the corner down the ways.
Some more clear.
Cause that inside of that bridge is
Yeah.
pretty
Too low.
dangerous. Yeah, there's been a few scrapes, I think, on
I
there.
think, well, it was just recently was Malcolm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dumpster was a little high.
So yeah, that'll be, I don't know if they'll get it done this summer or not. It's a
Brand new
long-
dumpster.
Oh, no.
Really? I don't know if you got a combine or something, then you gotta cut in, go,
Well, you know,
cut in and go around.
they've overlaid it several times, so
Oh,
that
yeah, that brings it
taking
up.
away that.
Yeah.
And no roundabout, I asked him, I said, I've heard this weekend 19 times that there was gonna be a roundabout, no. No, it's no roundabout going in there. No. I've heard that, I don't know how many times.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, some of the truckers said it'd be a lot nicer and you could just keep rolling around and keep going and never really have to stop.
The roundabout
And down at here, yeah.
9 and 54 at 9.
No, by
Short Street.
Short Street,
Oh.
yeah. Some of them guys said they just soon have that. Just keep rolling.
I would never think that, but
Yeah.
The intersection really.
I'm not opposed to roundabouts, I just.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the place maybe for
The one up by the airport is the one that really needs
something.
done with it. The other night after leaving a meeting here again, went up there and there's 2 cars sitting in the ditch all smashed up with the airbags on.
Is that FY42 there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, it is 9:40. Michael, it's all yours.
All right, good morning, everyone. Had a new week last week. Go through this build grant with the federal government on February 26th. There's nothing new to report this week. Bridge inspector is here today. He will be checking our March bridges. Railroad Flat Car Bridge study, there's nothing new this week. Subdivision, nothing new this week. Our equipment operator 2 position was open to the public until Friday last week. And we had 4 applicants thus far.
So you need another new one shortly too, huh?
Well, that was actually on this report. Yes, that's true as well, but the equipment operators, we have 4 applicants this far. We'll look to interview them. I think it'll be tomorrow morning. Interview at least one, we like. And then, yes, there was, the focus shop, had a retirement, very good truck driver.
Yeah, good.
Very good. So we'll be looking to hire that, and it's going through the union first, and then we'll send it out to the public. Quarry Hill, there's nothing new to report this week. 2027 CFYP has been submitted to DOT, so have not got a passed version back yet from DOT. So again next week, yep. Engineer's office has filled all the positions for the summer tech help and roadside mowers. And then Bridge 307 started last week, and Bridge 126 could begin sometime around July 13th. Last week, I attended the orientation for the new Buchanan County engineer. His name's Alex Davis. And then this is kind of, took my time. The union rep contacted the engineer's office with concerns about weekend overtime and supervisor duties on Wednesday. And then the engineer and bridge assistant foreman met in Howard County with Howard County's engineer's office to develop a bridge construction program. The idea being that we would construct our own bridges. Looking at next year being our first bridge to construct. So I haven't even programmed which bridge it will be yet, so. That is the engineer's report. Any questions?
On Bridge 5, there's still silt fence and posts up down there. Is that our responsibility to remove those?
It ultimately might become our responsibility, but I can look to see if it was in the contract to do it.
Okay. I just noticed it yesterday when I was driving by and I'm like, well, I don't think those need to be put in place yet.
Sure.
Is there any on like the road graders, I mean, on the road for GPS or whatever to put on them to keep the blade, or I mean, just to make it simplify for operators and stuff to keep the blade height at cause we went up for a little ranger ride on Saturday for, boy, there's a lot of gravel
Yeah.
thrown in the ditches. Yeah.
Have you done a tour of the county?
Yesterday I was out looking for bridges because this March program has bridges that are not our typical.
I mean, it's here and there, they
So I went out to check and I saw a lot of gravel roads. I thought they were in good condition.
I mean, the road there, but
The amount of gravel
gravel
in the road ditch.
ditches that got sprayed off some places, but I don't know.
I
It's just tough. How do
I'm
you
gonna just say that I don't operate a blade, and
don't know? Yeah,
I don't know how to answer your question,
Yeah.
to be quite frank. I kind of lean on,
And I understand a lot.
Yeah.
Once that snow gets rolling, it takes the rock with
It's
it.
hard.
But
yeah.
I didn't know if there's any GPS. You get.
One of the issues there is
Put
that
the-
you're trying to dig, and it's kind of by sight and feel.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that GPS is.
I don't know how that works, if there would ever be anything.
I mean, when you're trying to grade something to plan, you have a plan and everything is put in elevation.
Yeah.
You have your control points set up. I know.
You know,
that's
the
a
grade
thing, but-
maintainer's long, and if you go over a little bit of a high, you just can't, yeah, it just.
Well, but it's just, when you're maintaining the road, a gravel road, sometimes you want to cut this part but not that
That
part.
part, yeah.
And it's, the GPS stuff is pre-programmed as far as.
Oh,
I know.
I
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that, yeah, I don't know if there
would
would,
be
yeah.
for for that.
I mean, that was just something somebody threw it, brought to my attention. If there was, or something, I said,
I haven't heard of anything.
Yeah.
It would be great if somebody could come up with and invent a reclaimer
Suck
for
it.
gravel in the ditches.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen the kind of the brushes and everything. Somehow segregated that on a,
Yeah.
after,
See, Wagon Wheel Road, they did a lot of grinding or brush cleaning there. That'll
oh, yes.
really help that road dry out and
Probably to some extent, the amount of time and money on equipment that you would spend to get the gravel back on the road, it could be more expensive than just pushing more gravel.
It's hard to say, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's done that way. I mean,
Yeah, I think stabilizing some of that base on the busier roads would help pocket that in as well, so. I'm looking at trying to get that done as well. Not permanent.
20E with Fort Atkinson about to be on again next week.
28E, I actually, I forgot to put that in, I have it with me, so.
Okay.
If you wanna review that, and then here's that's the total for the attachment as mentioned.
And they're getting the same terms that still.
They are getting the same terms, yes. I'll be going to, it's a Wednesday meeting that I'll be attending this week.
Without interest over a period not to exceed 5 years.
Both of those communities had both either water and sewer or water only expenses in the last couple of years, and that's pretty heavy hits.
Yeah.
Small community.
So the city's portion there is 101,797.82.
Yes, that's what we would be trying to reclaim.
They're gonna be, that's a little over our original estimate, isn't it?
And under our original.
Yeah,
It's about
103,000, the original estimate.
We're 102,
What's that?
what's it?
101, 101.8 roughly, and it was at 103. So it's slightly under.
What percent interest was that?
0.
0. Oh, yeah, 5 years.
5 years, it's in 8 years at
2%.
Anyone like to take action?
That just goes the last 3
Move to
years.
approve the 2080.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the 28E agreement with Fort Atkinson for a total of $101,797.82 on a 5-year 0% interest repay back. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Passes.
just verify, I think I printed the right copy there. But verify that the City of Fort Atkinson personnel should be Michelle Osborne and Paul Harold, signature blocks.
You want this back or do you want?
I can take it back in.
I probably, you want me to put that with this?
This is the attachment.
Yeah.
What I was thinking.
And Wednesday night is their city council meeting.
Yep, 6 o'clock.
I'll get this to you, I'll be getting it for us.
Right, does anyone have anything else for like? That's good, thanks. Thank you.
Andy was working on that paperwork for that half-acre strip of land. He wondered if we want to charge them anything, like maybe the cost of doing the public hearing notice or something, or do you just wanna? Yes, if there was any expenses we wanted to charge them for. That's what I would ask you this morning.
Since we may have some more like that, maybe the out-of-pocket expenses should be attached to it. Small right-of-way issues and things like that. For time, it'll be just a no bid, no fee.
I was gonna say, maybe we should just put together some sort of policy. Flat. $100 or whatever.
For,
If you're gonna
yeah, I
change the
mean,
title.
can't do it now. I mean,
No.
in the future, I'd say just leave this one and then maybe come up with maybe a policy in the
I think-
future.
Yeah, I think we should have a policy, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of little pieces of land
Yeah.
out there that we could get over time, get cleaned up, and,
Yeah, it'd be nice to get it cleaned up.
but if we do that, then it would be good policy to have.
Yeah, I would say we can't now because we told we go ahead and do it. You can't say, well, now it's gonna cost you X. I mean, before, gotta let them know beforehand,
can-
I would
So you
say.
can suggest there's a voluntary donation if they would,
Yeah.
if they would so please, but you're right there.
But I would say in the future, we should.
When do we wanna,
Yeah.
when do we wanna work on that then? When we get that policy? Well, I guess it'd be, what do you think the cost of just a basic?
The basic public hearing notice is probably $50 to $75.
Plus-
There's two newspapers right now, but I heard over the weekend that Calmer Courier is closing. If anyone has confirmation for that.
I see two nods behind you.
So,
And
yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be less than $100 to publish that notice.
I would say it's just gonna be a $100 fee to.
Cause there's labor.
I don't think that's too much to ask.
No. I would say,
But not for Sexton's.
no, I mean, we can't, because we already told them to go ahead, you can't say, well, by the way, it's gonna, no. I mean, if we have a policy in
I can
place,
send-
then we can,
I'll send answer Andy on this one and I'll tell him, kind of explain that we maybe want to put a policy in place. And
yeah,
I mean, I think the $100, cause there's labor and time involved.
Yeah.
Too, so. It's not,
It's very fair.
yeah,
if they're just getting it, if they're paying for it, it's. different.
yeah, then it's. Like I say, it would be nice to get a lot of them cleaned up, though.
it's time
Then-
consuming from the mayor's office. but
That's-
It would be good if we're gonna have that
Yeah.
policy, then if they're paying money for it, who's gonna pay for the abstract and
Yeah.
stuff like that, should be written in there, that whole policy, part of that policy.
If there's any surveying costs associated with. it or
Abstract
anything like
update.
that.
this one wouldn't have abstract because you're only doing quick claim deeds.
Yeah.
We don't really know who owns it. Yeah.
But I mean, that would be, should be part of
Yeah.
our policy.
That's one of the expenses that'll be associated if you sell the
DHS.
DHS, but we're gonna have to get an abstract updated on that, so.
Just
So
have
those
those
things come,
put
we
in
just
there.
tie, we just
if
tie those to the
applicable.
purchaser.
Yeah,
Then
these
the
are
No,
costs
that's
associated
ours,
with-
no, we can't.
Oh, yeah, sure.
because even if
Yeah,
we
But if there's any survey work, then that's,
If they want to survey something, that's their business.
should we charge them for our service time?
No. There's so many rates if applicable to that
Situation.
plot of land or situation, then these fees are associated with it. And you pretty much are covering it.
So do you want to, who should put that together?
I'll mention it to Andy and maybe he can put something together for the next time he's.
You can think about, well, what the different costs.
We can talk about it.
Potential costs
Yeah.
of surveying time. Do we charge them for our surveying time or not? Anyway. Otherwise it'll linger and nothing will get done.
At the
Because if
same
it's,
time, you don't wanna make it too expensive, because a
No.
lot of these, it's best just to get them cleaned
get them
up.
cleaned up, and yeah, no,
or I would just add in there, the board has the option to waive it under certain circumstances.
So we have a little extra time. I was talking to Ben this morning because on our assessors board meeting, we have to do a background check. So I asked Ben, where we normally, who does the background checks? Don't do background checks.
Not for just average,
Average
general
employees.
employees.
please, no.
Certain employees
that-
need to have background checks because of.
For law enforcement, that's,
I mean, is it a background check something to put in place for employees. I mean, certain positions, you can look at yourself and you get yourself in trouble, kind of like they did down in Des Moines there.
That way.
It would be.
I was gonna say this.
And if you get a background check. Things
acceptable.
on, it's a background check or would make it so you can be hired versus can be hired, or are you just doing it
And that's,
just for the sake of doing
that's
it?
maybe a possible question we could ask at our next 6 county meeting too, on the other counties. What are they doing?
Yeah.
Do they require?
But I think we should put a policy in place.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, if we don't want to make national news like.
Yeah.
Happened in the past with.
My
Boyd.
wife said at Keystone, I think they have to redo theirs every 7 years. That's on all employees.
Now the state is putting together policy for like that Des Moines issue that people have to be vetted. It's a mandatory. To a certain. Yeah.
And is it all employees or is it employees that are only in certain management
Supervisory.
or supervisory positions or?
Well, you definitely couldn't do elected officials.
Yeah.
You know, that's a little different story.
But we did, and when I was on personnel offices, we did background checks on every applicant, period. That was just our policy. But then is it gonna be a local background check, a state background check, or a national?
Mhm.
And we did local primarily, unless it was a special recruit, then we'd go beyond that. But
Have you at least talked to the people that were listed as recommendations or whatever? Or that?
This particular person had 3 recommendations already. Placed. Which was
And those were all.
no concept. Oh, yeah. So I guess if our policy right now is not to do them, then
Ours, the county is, but the
Well,
conference board is different. I mean, they're a separate entity.
that was part of the agreement.
The hiring agreement was, yeah,
background check.
do no
It was
background
stated
check.
in there. So maybe it is something for further discussion down the road.
I don't know what you need to do for that specific one. And,
I'll figure something out this week.
okay,
Since, is it Jim's, is next Monday is Jim's last day, or is it this
No.
week?
this week, I think.
This week?
Well, his last day is, April 1st,
April 1st.
Yeah.
but that starts in
May 20th,
2020.
May 20th is the date.
Cause he's using his vacation.
That worked for, yeah.
Well, maybe, do we want to put on maybe next week's agenda some discussion of what we may need to do for some staff relocation to accommodate the county attorney? Or how do we want
And
to
if
do
you can just discuss that, you aren't gonna make any decisions right now, but I think that's been in discussion for the
that?
last
Oh, yeah.
couple months.
Yeah.
You know, I've got some drawings and I've gone through and talked with numerous people, and my recommendation would simply be,
We can go through that next week.
yes, we got some.
Next up on the agenda, Amanda Webb from Hacker Nelson. Presentation of the FY25 Audit Report. Good morning, Amanda.
Morning. How are you guys?
Good, yourself?
How are we is the question.
Do you mind if I sit?
That's got his book there.
Hard copy.
So there's some hard copies in there if you want to take them. When I do this, I'm more or less, I'm not going to go over the numbers in great detail because this was fiscal year 25, in the middle of 26 and planning for 27. So I'll kind of go through what's in there, hit some high level stuff, and then go through some graphs.
These it was the same, I did email it out, so you had a chance to look at the electronic one.
They're lengthy.
So in the electronic version you have, there's a separate letter in there and it's addressed to the supervisors. And this is required by professional standards. Certain points we're supposed to communicate to you guys. The first one and the main one, this year there was a new GASB standard, Governmental Accounting Standards Boards. Is what that stands for regarding compensated absences and how we calculate that. And they required us to go back to 24 and restate that balance. So if you compare 24 to 25, the ending net position will be different than what the beginning is this year because we had to restate that. And there's a note disclosure in here, which I'll touch on briefly later on. So that's one of the things, is just any new standards, and that's one of them. The other thing is in these financial statements, there's several estimates. You know, everybody thinks accounting is exact, but there's some pretty big estimates in here. The biggest is probably IPER's liability. We have to record that as a liability. If IPER's were to go bankrupt, what would the county be responsible for? The other one is related to capital assets, infrastructure, estimating useful life and depreciating that out. That's a pretty significant estimate because that can vary. And then the other one is the new compensated absence. That liability is a pretty big estimate too. We look at what staff have used, what they've accrued at year end, what they've used, what we expect them to use. So it's based on a pretty big estimate, and those are significant liabilities. We didn't have any difficulties in performing the audit. There were no corrected or uncorrected misstatements. So we do give Lynn journal entries to go from cash basis, how you operate, to accrual basis, and that's submitted to the state report. No disagreements, and then we're not aware of any consultation with other auditors. We kind of consider that opinion shopping. If they don't like the answer they get from us, would they go reach out to somebody else? We're not aware of any of that. So that's what's in that communication letter. Switching over to the actual financial statements, the auditor's report is on page 2. And the opinion there is right at the top, the first 2 paragraphs. And the start of the second paragraph, basically, everything is presented fairly in all material respects. So we do have a materiality level. So that would be considered a clean opinion as far as the numbers in the financial statements. And then page 5 through 5G. This is the management's discussion and analysis. The whole report is 80 pages. I would recommend skimming it at least, but if you don't read anything word for word, read these 5 or 6 pages up here. This is a pretty good overall of what happened this year and then compared to fiscal year 24 as well. Overall in governmental activities, revenues were pretty consistent. They increased 1.45%. So pretty steady. Expenses were 3.77% less. So again, both of those are pretty consistent from fiscal year 24. The financial statements start on page 6. And what you'll see, exhibits A and B are full accruals, so that's where we'll record the liabilities and the capital assets. Exhibits C and D, E, and F are more kind of similar to how you guys would operate on a day-to-day basis. There are some receivables and payables in those. And those also are broken down by the funds. So exhibit C and D are the governmental funds, E and F are proprietary funds. The sewers, the Santa Brook,
Think the water.
Frankville, other business type.
This is like the opioid fund.
No, that would be under governmental. Mhm. And then the notes start on page 17, and there's 36 pages of notes. Again, maybe you don't need to read it word for word, but I would skim through it. There's a lot of detail in there as far as what the county's accounting policies are. There's detail on capital assets, there's detail on, debt payments, outstanding debt, what's coming due in the next 5 years.
Those are pages, what, 17 through?
17 through 52, I believe, are the notes. But they're all titled, so if you're looking for something specific like that, that'll be laid out in a specific note. Capital assets is laid out in a specific note. So if you're looking for something, you can see those highlighted there. I will have you go back to page 52. This is a no disclosure on that accounting change and that restatement. So in the governmental activities, the net position actually from the end of fiscal year 24, when we reported it last year, to with this change actually lowered a little over $1 million because of that change. The business type, not quite as much, that was roughly 60,000 that it lowered. So you are reporting a higher liability for those compensated absences with the new standard. Then back on page 68. This is a schedule that's in every government audit. I always point it out to boards because I think this is something they would be interested in. It shows revenues and expenses over a 10-year history for the governmental funds. So you can kind of see increases and decreases of those. If you look back, revenues typically are right around 24 million, give or take a little bit. There are a few odd years that just depend a lot on federal funding or maybe specific projects you have going on at that time. And same with the expenses. You can kind of see trends over 10 years. And then the other common question, did we find anything? Were there any issues? Page 69 is a report we're required to do regardless. It's a report on internal control. And there is one finding noted there, and you've seen it every year, overlapping duties, segregation of duties. And it's not just in the auditor's office, it can be in any office, any department. If someone's gone, we don't find any issues. And actually, I think every audit I do, this is in every single audit, just because of the size and there's outlying offices.
Especially in city councils.
Yeah. Those small city councils, you hear about those quite often.
Every year.
State audit, yeah. So, it's kind of something we just want to make you aware of, and that's why you guys do what you do and kind of review things and ask questions. And then the management letter starts on page 72. And this is again where we would note any findings we had. Items 1 through 10 were required to test every year by Iowa code for compliance. And so then we have to include them whether we find anything or not. And none of those had findings this year. The only finding is number 11 there. And this again is been there for several years. The capital asset records. And I don't think it's anything, we just have to pull pieces from various departments and then we put it all together to get that kind of grand total. I know the auditor's office tracks during the year and then the secondary roads gets, infrastructure reports that they have and we just pull them all together. But there's not, like, you couldn't come to the county and be like, give me your asset listing, and they'd have one report for you.
With your recommendation is that we do.
Well, in a perfect world, but I think it would be, it's a very complicated area to pull all those pieces together.
Since we got the first 10, right, they had to put that in.
You can't have a perfect, really.
Yeah. The one thing in that 11 is the insurance thing. We just
Actually,
go through that.
you actually mentioned that and I smiled because they just talked about that earlier with the engineer about trying to have a better system of
Get it right.
appreciating the value for insurance coverage purposes too. Because we
Come up with a scenario.
we're carrying values to replace things that isn't really realistic anymore and those kinds of things. We need to be better at it.
That's where it'd be valuable to have that.
Yeah, I can keep them, my theory was keep them at for the first 4 or 5 years, keep them at replacement cost and then start doing it maybe 10% a year depreciation down to year 8 or something. That would be basically what it's worth.
See, we
And
take
I don't know.
the estimated life and we're gonna depreciate it evenly, which is probably not even completely accurate, because those first few years, like you said, it's gonna be a higher percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, so that
Yeah,
was
and it's
fine.
a different valuation standard. I mean, you're looking at it from a county center, we're looking at how much insurance. If we lose a 1-year-old maintainer due to a fire, we want to get a brand new one again. We don't
Yeah,
want to.
that's where, because they got cash value
Yeah.
and replacement cost. So I said, after 4 year, the replacement cost, they ain't gonna give you a new one. So I said, you better start depreciating after at least year 4 or 5, then put it on a 10-year, 10% for 8 years. And after that, that'd be probably a 12, 13-year span. Here's what the kill price, I mean, here's what it's worth. That it kind of worked that way. It'd be pretty close to. Yeah.
Could we track physical assets with a GIS program? That anybody could put their assets into.
Well, I think that's how the road department does do a lot of theirs, so. Yeah, I mean, she said in the perfect world, that would be great, but I think we try to do as much as we can, so, you know, it's just that what we do, and then what the engineer's office does, and it isn't all in one place, which is
Right.
a little harder.
It takes them a little longer to compile it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect. Cost us less on the audit. Maybe.
Because actually the county, we don't have no debt ourselves.
It's that we're carrying
Yeah,
for other entities.
entities, yeah. I like the 911 where that tower we got up on top of the hill, I think there's. It's like, I forget what it is. Is that
60%.
That shows on our debt schedule.
that shows on our debt schedule?
Yeah. So it's gonna be the Pearl, Festina sewers, the Frankville water, 911 tower, the
2080s.
Landfill has that debt for the closure, post closure that they have to keep.
But that's not counting.
No, it is, because we're. This is our debt schedule, because they don't have it.
It's their own.
Yeah.
But it's self-funded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got their own.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I mean, we were even carrying probably on this one yet, still had the last payment for the spectrum. loan, Because at July 1, we hadn't made that final payment yet, so it's gonna still be in there. So that one actually is ours, so. It won't be gone now. Well, we paid it, so we gotta find money.
Yeah, we got it.
Anyone have any questions for Amanda? You have anything else for us?
The graphs are in there, and I just want to thank all the staff, like, in all the departments. I mean, the auditor's office, we get everything electronically. The IT provides us computers to look at invoices. All the various departments are always very approachable. They know when we're coming, and if they're gonna be gone, they come day 1 and tell us when they're gonna be gone, so we can plan accordingly. It's a really good group to work with. the entire
The
county.
electronic access has really
Mhm.
made
Makes
things,
it
I
very
mean, it
easy.
used to be on site for more like sometimes up to 2 weeks, and now you're usually can be,
About 4 days.
yeah, 4 days to be done on site.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Then go back on that one with the page, where the 10 years, showed the last, so year, I think it was 2020 or 2021 would have been that ARP money. We
Right,
had that, what, 2.5? When did we get two?
It's closer, it's just 3.5.
3.5, I mean, that shows right in them 3 years,
Mhm.
then it goes
A
back
lot of
down.
COVID money.
Yeah, so it's kind of deceiving in the three of those, that's where.
And everyone get a copy of the graphs, or do you?
The graphs, you would have got them emailed to you. They would have been in the packet.
There's
Again,
some
they'll show a
interesting
5-year
information.
history,
Yeah.
kind of a picture, nice color picture, so.
There's the budget.
And I compared to 24, and actually everything's pretty similar to 24. So.
You want to just hand that around in case they didn't get a chance.
Go ahead, you have copies for this?
You got it in the email.
It's in the email. I know I saw it.
Mhm. Yep.
Make copies if you want copies, but
That's okay. I do like the graph, so it kind
Yeah,
of,
Yeah, it
Makes
shows
memorize a lot.
easier
it
to
does.
explain it,
you
yeah.
can look at numbers and some crosswords, at least this has kind of a.
I'll keep one copy in the auditor's office for permanent record. I'll put one on your shelf over here in case you guys want to look at it in any more detail.
Also see because they line up, they're pretty consistent from year to year.
2022. Still. I think it's in here. Found that one.
So in some of those pie graphs, the pencil numbers below is what the percentage was last year.
Oh, okay.
So.
4% increase.
Yeah, tax valuation. If we had a, like, what'd you say, 1.4% increase per year, so 600s or 0.600s of that would have been evaluation, and the 0.79, I mean, would be the tax levy increase per year.
If we usually do action to accept the audit. Actually, presentation.
I'd move to approve the Hacker Nelson audit.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve the FY25 audit report. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Ben, can you just make color copies for all, because for sure,
Do you just want this?
take that one down.
The, very, very nice professional work. And I know there's a lot of places that are having difficulty getting audits, and so we're glad we have a long-term relationship with Hacker now.
Close by.
Government audits, yeah. We get requests frequently.
And we appreciate having you just down the street, which is quite handy when we have a question or need to get a little more information to you or from you. It's very handy.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right, thank you guys.
You.
Till next year.
Few months.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What do we have for consent agenda?
I think I just have the minutes. Yep. Oh, I got it.
I'd move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
That, she was talking about the anticipated liability for people with their vacations and time off and stuff like that. I really think we should still continue to look at going through a PPO system. I don't know how to get that started, but
I'll start by sending you what we proposed the last time.
I think it'd be a lot cleaner and it'll be easier to know.
Antler shed up yesterday.
Didn't
I
they?
found them both within 50 feet of each other. I was burning some terraces and I just driving along. I was just working around the outside of them and I seen the one. My guy went about 50 feet further.
You don't always do.
And there it was.
Megan?
That never happened.
And that one was laying in the terrace. The other one was laying right on it. Yeah, good thing I found him.
Not in your
Yeah,
driveway.
they're a nice 8-pointer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, there it is. It's like, really. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we're close enough, Barb. We got some conservation updates.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I'll start off with, I know you saw the email from Lynn that, Hannah's, resigned. And so, our calendars are full with field trips and, camps have been advertised. So, I've advertised the position for education and outreach coordinator. So I wanted to make sure that you are aware that we're in a unique position that, you know, calendars are full and someone's resigned. So we're moving forward with that. And then we've got some big events coming up. I wanted to make sure that invited you and you were aware. Nesty Valley Recreation Area. For up until last year, when the Nesty Valley Road was completed, it just wasn't safe access, because if you met somebody, one of you was going to have to back up. And so we never really opened it up to the public. So it is now open to the public. We have 2-lane road and a parking lot. And so we're going to do a ribbon cutting. And if you're available, we'd love to have you out. We're excited. Ingrid Nesty will be there, kind of our guest of honor, so to speak. So none of this wouldn't be possible if it weren't for Ingrid working with the County Conservation Board and making sure that we have a wonderful public area for the public future plans, the dry run trail, a mile of that trail route goes through Nesty, and Nesty is the halfway point of that trail connecting Trout Run Trail to the Prairie Farmers. So it's having a park at a halfway point. We'll be able to offer restrooms and when the campground's done, there will be shower house and just a lot of amenities that the location's just perfect. Then we have a couple weeks later, the Earth Day Festival, and that's one of our biggest events every year. Last year, we had over 600 folks come through. We're at the fairgrounds, and we have both the community building and the Dan and Lansing building, and a lot of partners, and so a huge event. And then on the back side of your sheet is the list of all of our upcoming programs. And Larry just had yesterday his waterfall walk over at Cardinal Marsh and had 25 people. So good attendance on our small programs like that. So anyway, but the biggest reason I came was to let you know that we're kind of in a tight spot here with Hannah leaving. Actually, Thursday's her last day, and we've got Becca only in the mornings. So tough to just shift people around. So anyway, and this happened after the conservation board met, so the board kind of got informed with an email also. But any questions? I don't, like I said, mostly just to give you a quick update.
How long was Hannah with you?
3 years.
Great job.
And Lily before that was with us 12. And it's done a phenomenal job. I mean, our program numbers have grown every year and they keep growing. We've got a little drop now that Evan's not part of the staff. And so his numbers aren't being counted. So next year, when you see our report, our numbers will be down, but we've had a few hiccups here. So.
I hope that, I think Evan's planning on doing a recycle demonstration on Earth Day.
Yes.
To be a part of it, right?
Yes.
We want as many people or more people participating as possible. It's been a very good program.
Yeah, and it's full of vendor booths that an educational booths you can walk around, you can pick up a free shrub. They're looking at electric vehicles. I don't know how many HVAC companies will be there. In the past, we've had quite a few. I think with some of the incentives for folks have disappeared, so that needs dropped off a little bit, but it's still a huge event. And then there's, as Steve mentioned, we have the educational programs, and they have a meeting here this week to do some more planning, but I know we're going to have the Raptor Resource Center as one of the programs along with Evan for sure.
It's a great family event. It's fun to see all of the young kids, old people, everybody.
Yeah.
That's a nice day.
Would you swing by and see Michael Kueny, Barb? And I had a conversation with him about where the trail crossing is on Conover. And he has some ideas that might help in safety issues right there on that crossing.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I'll give you an update on that conversation.
Okay. I'll catch you here later. I've got a couple more stops this morning, but thanks for letting me know.
Nice to John got the recognition
Oh, yes.
and obviously picture of planting here, which was nice too.
Yes. John on our staff, volunteer of the year. First forever. He's done a lot of great work for the County Conservation Board and all of our partners and making sure that there's trees in the schools and here at the courthouse.
Yeah, he's the one that got this project.
Thank you.
Next up on the agenda, we have a public hearing for the sale of property on the old DHS building.
Motion to open public. Hearing.
We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the sale of the old DHS building? On online with any questions or comments?
Just as a record, that was somehow acquired by us with a trade with the state for.
We bought it from
Bought
the,
it
from the state.
Right.
I found the old purchase agreement for Andy when he was getting some of the paperwork ready, and it was just over 100,000. Is what we paid for it.
Put a lot of money in it.
It was a long time ago.
And we do have a well, septic and driveway sharing agreement with the DOT that Andy knows about, so that if we proceed to the sale portion, the new buyer would have to work that out with the DOT.
We, didn't we put our own septic in?
We put in a new, I got the details on that from Doug, but there is a new drain field that was installed, but it's still shared. The state did put in their own something.
Tank.
Yeah,
Separator.
yeah,
Separator deal.
yeah, and they do have a separate well, but it's a shallow well that's only used for making the brine for their brine tanks. It's not for drinking water, so they still get their drinking water out of the same well. The internal plumbing water out of the same well that we do at the DHS, that open. So Andy knows all those details too, and we have, we get to the point of sale, we do have, Doug's already done to do a inspection of the septic as part of the sale, so we have a time of transfer certificate ready for the septic portion too.
We've noticed everything is as is condition, no warranties, correct? Here's my key to the building.
Oh, okay.
What's the value, the assessed value?
Did they assess it because it's county property?
I thought.
Well,
that-
they assessed it according to what in-town building. And we didn't get an over, I mean, yeah.
It was listed at 500 and something, but.
That's what the sale listing.
The appraisal.
Yeah, what the appraisal was, they were all in-town appraisals.
The
This here isn't, that building is not in town, it was, yeah, that was,
That was an appraisal, not the assessor. I don't know what he has it listed at.
I'm not sure.
The
either.
appraiser at the time made the statement that because there is very limited commercial sales in this region, he had to stretch into other urban areas to be able to use.
No,
for
it
his
it can only be within 35 miles.
I know, but he was
Yeah.
using those numbers and
Yeah.
saying that, so he had a very difficult time trying
Trying
to.
to, yeah.
Pretty hard to get comparables.
Yeah.
Yep, because there's no rural comparables to come up
I think he
with.
had a-
Yeah, it was,
I think it was 435 or something like that.
yeah.
Well, that's right.
But it was not, it was a very
But I
difficult
didn't see
situation.
anybody to check for it. so.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Public hearing is now closed. So we can review the minutes.
Don't get one.
Where we'll have it. First one is from Bonnie Wentel for $50,000. Second one is from Kyle Marashik for $310,000.
I'd move to approve the high bid of $310,000 for the UHS building to Marashik. Kyle Marashik.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the bid for $310,000 to Marashik Sewer and Excavator, Kyle Marashik. Is there any further discussion?
I think now that it's been determined that we don't have another use for it, or EMS does not. Yeah, I think that's good.
We can't legitimately find any county use for it. And we've been through all departments.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
I have a real estate contract here to have Marchik sign. I don't think there's anyone here. They'll need to sign this and provide the $5,000 down payment. Yeah, and then we'll work with Andy to get a closing and all that. We'll have to do get the abstract updated and get all the paperwork in order, but there'll be a closing time and we'll pay the remainder and we'll sign the fee.
What were we thinking for closing?
I think we put in this. Let me put this together. What's the date in here? I just can't remember. Possession and closing on or before May 15th.
Okay. Month and a half.
All right, do we have any committee reports?
But that'll make it good that we'll have the money that we already paid 250.
Before July 1st.
Yeah, yes, that's a relief to me.
I won't sit the checking account long.
No.
Any committee reports?
Just happened last week. Got another Zoom meeting for workshop, Northeast Iowa Workforce Development. As you consider further on that merger option, more detail coming out, so can be determined.
Quiet this week.
Yeah, last week of the month, we did that. Yeah, city council meeting on Wednesday. I'll be there with Michael for that 2080.
Yes, we got it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second for adjournment. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Now, 12:30, Bethany from our architect will be here to examine the roof.
At 12:30.
12:30,
Where are they gonna meet down, John?
probably in Ben's office up there.
Tony's gonna go and go with you too, so.
John Halverson will go. It's up down to the exact meeting. And we will go examine the top mill from the inside.
Dark up there. It's
really dark up
sitting
there.
at one end. By that mountain. I've been dressing around and going on. I got it went just about 50, 75 feet.
Basically, yeah.
Sure glad he. That
It
was
was on the market.
that cement
and they took
bid
it off the market
before.
because Sean was maybe wondering if they could use this for something for emergency management, but then he decided he didn't want to, so we put it back on the market. So, okay.
Yeah.
So. It's as Darren,
You're gonna
Darren
contact
Swenson
them?
always said, yep. As
Yeah.
Darren Swenson always said, it's the story that keeps on giving because
Right.
we've been
Yeah.
covering it for years.
There's only two of us in there.
And this This is a better
Thank you.
use than when we did take bids that other time, that one, the high bid last, time, would not have been the best use of the property.
Yeah. That was the. It was like,
Cement company.
yes.
That would not have been a good thing for the next door neighbor.
No, honestly. That's good, then, Brad.
How you doing? Zach? You holding
That's
your
why
own?
there's only two of
Your
us in here.
I keep losing. We're increasing protein.